Stockbridge, Massachusetts is one of the most coveted towns in Berkshire County. If you're considering moving to the Berkshires or you're thinking about buying a second home here, Stockbridge needs to be on the list of places for you to explore, and I'm so excited to tell you a bit more about it. For those of you that are new to the channel, I'm Cameron Volastro. I'm a local real estate professional here in Berkshire County, and if you're considering buying real estate in the Berkshires, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. All of my contact information is in the description. There's also a link to sign up to my newsletter, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well so that you can stay in the loop with all the new videos that I'm going to be having coming out over the coming months. That being said, let's start talking about Stockbridge, Massachusetts and why you should consider buying a second home there or moving there. I think the best way to describe Stockbridge is a quaint, small town that has been stuck in time since Norman Rockwell lived there. The town actually takes great pride in the historic preservation of their downtown and otherwise, and it's a very great draw to the area for any sort of history buff and any sort of art enthusiast. Stockbridge is riddled with interesting history. It was home to many of the Berkshire cottages, which, if you're not familiar with what that is, during the late 1800s, people from the city were coming here and building these huge homes, many of them well over 10,000 square feet, and they all had to have over 20 rooms to be considered a Berkshire cottage. And these historic buildings, many of them are still standing there today, such as Namkeg, which is a gorgeous attraction in Stockbridge. You can go there, you can walk around the grounds, you can tour the historic mansion. During the Christmas months, they have all sorts of Christmas lights up, and it's quite an experience to go walk around the grounds that time of year. It's just a beautiful piece of history in Stockbridge, along with many of the other properties. Naturally, Stockbridge is also home to the Norman Rockwell Museum, which makes a lot of sense considering he actually lived there for a good part of his life. Some other nearby cultural arts type attractions are the Unicorn Theater, Jacob's Pillow, Tanglewood is in Lenox, and the Berkshires have so much to offer, especially in that South County area. For example, from Stockbridge, you're probably about 15 minutes from getting to Great Barrington, where you have the Mahawi Theater. The Berkshires are world renowned for the arts and culture to our area. If you are into that, you will love it here. But getting back more into Stockbridge specifically, let's get into some of the data about who actually lives in Stockbridge. When it comes to age, Stockbridge is actually a shockingly old community. The average age of people that live in Stockbridge is 61.9 years old, which is shocking. Another interesting statistic to Stockbridge is that only 50% of residences are primary residences, which means about half of the homes in Stockbridge are second homes. So it's definitely a very tourist-driven economy. There's a lot of people who escape New York City or Boston and they come and spend summer months in Stockbridge. Maybe they come in the winter months too, but the fall foliage time is gorgeous here, and it just draws people from the city out of those cityscapes into the beautiful Berkshires to really just get away. Getting back on the point of that really high average age, according to niche.com, Stockbridge is the number 8 best place to retire in Massachusetts. Let's talk about some of the outdoor attractions and activities and whatnot that Stockbridge offers as well. Of course, like the rest of the Berkshires, you can find great hiking in Stockbridge. There's plenty of public trails that you can take adventures on. Probably my favorite outdoor attraction to Stockbridge is Stockbridge Bowl, which is one of the most coveted waterfronts in all of the Berkshires in terms of real estate. Homes can easily go over $3 million on Stockbridge years. One of the things that makes Stockbridge Bowl so special is the proximity to Tanglewood makes it so that you can actually go out and float around on your pontoon boat on Stockbridge Bowl, and on a quieter evening, you'll be able to hear the BSO right out in the middle of the lake while you're looking at the scenic mountains and breathtaking views, and it is just such a special experience that so few people have the privilege of experiencing. So it's really no surprise that people want to live right on the water there so that they can just go out to their backyard, hop onto their boat and go out and float around, have a cocktail with their friends, and enjoy whatever concert's going on at Tanglewood without even having to go and deal with the traffic of getting in and out of Tanglewood. If you're a skier, there's plenty of nearby ski resorts for you to enjoy. You can get to Butternut quite quickly. Bosque is not too far away either. Jiminy Peak is getting a little bit on the farther side. I think that if I was living in Stockbridge, I'd probably be more apt to go to either Butternut or maybe even Catamount, which is just over the border into New York. So when it comes to real estate in Stockbridge, there are a lot of historic homes, and that can be a major draw for some people. Stockbridge has attracted affluent individuals for a very long time. And what that means is a lot of these older homes have been very well cared for, very well maintained. They've stayed very true to much of their history. And I think that to many people who are escaping the city, where maybe you have a bit more of a modern apartment or home, this can be a really attractive place for a getaway, to live in a space that's a bit more historic and be in touch with nature. And with all of that though, the price points are significantly higher than some of the surrounding communities. And there's a lot of factors that play into that. For one, obviously with 50% of the homes being second homes, there's a lot more competition to get the homes from second homeowners in Stockbridge because of all the attractions that we've been talking about. This really drives those prices up naturally. Second, many of these properties are on good chunks of land, and I would consider them to be more like an estate rather than just buying a house. Obviously these are going to demand higher prices, and just having a lot of those styles of properties in Stockbridge is another factor that pushes those prices up. If you want a newer home, it's not that we can't find it in Stockbridge, but I do think the primary type of home that you're going to see in Stockbridge is going to be a more historic home. Many of these properties were built even before the 1900s. To finish off the video, I want to make sure I touch on the downtown Stockbridge area. There's a lot of great dining, and there's local quaint coffee shops. One of the coffee shops in downtown Stockbridge has a bookstore right attached to it, which is really wonderful. If you like boutique stores and you like historic buildings, a lot of these buildings that these stores are in are quite a bit older. The Red Lion Inn, for example, is a really cool historic inn, and they have the Lion's Den, which is in the basement, and it's this really swanky bar restaurant that has live music all the time. Really great place to check out if you're coming to the area. And that's really just scraping the surface, but in terms of like a charming downtown with history and quaint local boutique stores and you name it, this is really one of the great places to be. Stockbridge would have to be on my top 3 lists of downtowns in the Berkshires, especially for somebody that is looking to purchase a second home here. Stockbridge really is that snapshot of what people are looking to find when they're escaping the cities to the Berkshires. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of great videos coming soon that you're not going to want to miss. If you are looking to buy or sell any sort of real estate here in the Berkshires, like I said, all my contact information is in the description. See you in the next video.